Hey everyone, welcome back to Magically Unstable. I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're magically unstable.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's do that one more time.
Or we can just keep that whole thing.
Oh my God, that made me lightheaded. Oh my God.
I'm Kurt.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here to talk about Disney.
And our anxiety.
And that's why we're
magically unstable.
And welcome back to Magically Unstable.
Sparkle, 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 sparkle. Yay.
Welcome back to episode 3, guys. Guys, this is our third episode.
We have made it to episode 3 somehow, and that is just a fucking miracle to me.
I'm a little, I feel like this journey is like all gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
Is that just me or is that like a general consensus?
I am a little shooketh, so I am totally in consensus with you.
Great.
Retweet.
But I would love to give a shout out really quick to our fan base, I guess we'll say. We have 26 listens on our first episode.
Right. And technically, I think it said there were like 28 listens, but 2 of those are absolutely Kurt and I.
Yes.
Well, and Nicole as well. So actually, Nicole, you actually have listened to this podcast, haven't you?
I actually have.
See, we say that because Nicole doesn't watch our YouTube videos.
Look at her. Look at her.
Look at her.
I listen to them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Listening.
You girls got a busy ass fucking life.
I feel like we just did the equivalent of like whipping out a Glock into her face. Like we're like, come on, let's go to this like fun thing. And then we shoot her.
Right. Right. Literally watch the video or die, bitch.
Yeah. So anyways, welcome to the Foreverland world of Magically Unstable. We're so happy to reach out to a new audience. If you found us on Spotify or any other podcast form, or if you came to us from our YouTube channel, welcome to Magically Unstable. We're super happy that you guys are here. And yeah, let's dive into the third episode.
But wait, before we dive, how y'all been this week?
Oh, yeah. Let's touch base. I do like our touch base.
Yeah. Like people actually care about us, I guess, when you talk about yourself. Well, that's fair. That can be argued. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. We started with Nicole. We started with Nicole. Let's start. Kurt, how was your week?
My week is good. A little busy with some fun Foreverland things. Not much is going on. Getting ready for the Lunar New Year.
Yay!
Yeah, that's tomorrow. And Nicole, I have an answer for you from last week. There is a Lunar New Year Eve, and it's tonight.
Amazing.
It is like a thing. Like people have said. Peter and I went to downtown Disney and Disney California Adventure today, and a couple of cast members wished us Happy Lunar New Year Eve, and we were wearing like our Lunar New Year gear at the park today. But so it is a thing, and it is a thing to like shave, shower, like do all of that stuff like tonight. So then all day tomorrow, like even tomorrow night, like you're not supposed to shower, like shave your body, do anything, shave your face, and like none of that. So like if you do all that tonight on the eve, you wash off all of like the bad luck and everything that's been attached to you for the past year. And then if you do it tomorrow, you're getting rid of the good luck. So you're not supposed to do it tomorrow. You have to wait until like the day after.
Thank you for telling me that today, because I was absolutely going to shower tomorrow and I don't need none of that shit luck.
Don't do it.
I'll just shower tonight.
Don't do it.
I need to wash my hair though, and that like has to happen tomorrow. Honestly, my luck can't get. But I already showered. I don't have time for a second shower.
Just do it. You know you want to.
So yeah, that's basically been my week. Peter is actually currently shopping still right now. He had to come drop me off at home so that we could record the podcast. But yeah, that's about my week. I had Chromatica Oreos for the first time.
Yay!
So that's exciting.
How are your bowels?
Well,
Green.
one thing that Gaga doesn't tell you is that in order to be part of Chromatica and like live in Chromatica and have this gay friendly world and everything's great and pink, is that you're going to have lime green poop for the rest of your life. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Lime
little
is
side
sus.
effect of Chromatica.
Honestly, though, like, is that the worst side effect?
Right,
No,
right. It
because
would be
you know
more
what?
alarming if it was red.
Or black.
Yep.
Or, yeah, you know what? Black is even worse.
Nicole, how was your week?
It feels great to be chosen. My week has been. That's where it was better than last week, I think. I really don't remember what much. I'm stroking out. I don't really remember.
Is it still like
much.
negative 20?
No, but I'm heading up to some family property tomorrow where it is legitimately like no wind chill negative 20. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to
Why would you go then?
Right. It's kind of like I don't feel bad for you.
I don't feel bad.
I mean, I do. I do
feel
actually.
bad for me, but like I know that it's I'm just going to get frostbitten like nobody's fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, this is why you move 1,000 miles away from your family so you don't ever have to do this again. That's the look at Kurt and I. We're leading by example.
You could learn the power of the word no.
Heard, but I also hard. Like want to go up too. I wanna like, get out of Kenosha.
That's
you want to
fair.
die from hypothermia?
Yeah, absolutely. They have a hot tub where frostbite. I'm going. So it's an outdoor hot tub. So I'm really testing the hypothermia boundaries. But yeah, so that's pretty much
Does
all
it even work?
Nicole.
Yes.
Do not go in that hot tub if it is the top of your body is going to freeze.
I'm gonna do it. I'm probably not going to do it.
Okay, well, for the next podcast, it's just going to be Kurt and I because Nicole's going to be dead or in the hospital.
If Nicole is missing for the next podcast or two, you know what happened.
She got hypothermia.
You heard it here first.
Nicole, you won't even... Have you ever seen... You guys don't watch Rick and Morty, but like, have you ever seen when a whole body freezes and someone knocks it over and it just shatters into like 1,000 pieces?
Yes.
That's literally what's going to happen to the top half of your body. It's going to freeze solid.
It'll just be mush then. It'll be like frozen Nicole soup. It'll be like hot chocolate that's too hot. You just throw an ice cube in it and the ice cube plot twist.
That's really gross.
You lost me. You lost me at frozen Nicole soup. You lost me at Nicole soup. All right. Your audio is good, Nick?
Thank God, yeah.
Was your week just as good as your audio?
My week has been like pretty interesting to say the least. I've been like crying a lot lately, but I guess to like piggyback on that, my stability status has been like danger level red, panic. But the weird thing is it's like I'm crying because I'm happy. So I don't know what that has to say. So obviously we've all have our quarantine like rituals by now, and mine is watching the Great British Bake Off at least for 6 hours a day when I'm not working. And like I know everything that happens. Like at this point, I have literally seen each episode like 4 times and I still cry, like sob, like every time
normal.
Every time I watch the Paul Hollywood handshake, like tell me why I'm crying, like, or
I cry and I rewatch things just to feel that same cry. I know exactly what you're talking about. I do that to myself.
And it's like, I should know better. Like when I watch the Great British Bake Off, I know I'm going to cry, but like Michael and I will be watching like, I don't know, something else. And a fucking like Charmin commercial will come on and the bear will look cute and I'll just like start crying. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
I do not to like, I'm not saying this to like negate your emotions or like downplay what you're feeling, but I feel like it's getting to a point with the pandemic. I think in general, just as like an overall, I guess, feeling in America. And especially for people who are really trying to stop the spread. And like for us, you know, we wear masks, we wash our hands. Peter and I still like sanitize our groceries when we get them home from the grocery store. Like we're trying to do everything that we can to, you know, help everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's just sometimes it's really, sometimes it's really exhausting. So I feel that like I'm not an emotional person. Like I bottle my feelings since like I was born. So I like, I don't cry. I don't really talk about my, like, it's not healthy, but you know, that's just what I do. At least I know that's what I do. But like this week, it's just been really overwhelming. I just want to tell you this to let you know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm also been kind of emotional.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, you know, when you boil, like when you're making mashed potatoes and you're boiling those potatoes and the bubbles bubble up like just to the rim and every now and then like splashes of water. I feel like I'm the pot of potatoes where like my bubbles are out of control into the top and like every like 5 seconds a little splash comes out and yeah, I guess we all just feel like a pot of potatoes. But something exciting. I saw a fucking skink today, a wild skink. And I knew both of you dumbass. I knew both of you.
I know what a skink is. A blue-tongued skink. Did you see a blue-tongued one?
No, it wasn't a blue-tongued one. But
I was like a skunk.
No, they're called skinks, and they are.
It's that accent.
Shut the fuck! Oh my god, you guys! You know what? This is my time to talk about my week, and
yes, talk about your week. I'm sorry.
I like how people listening probably actually think that we're being serious when we're mean to each other, but like we're not. But a skink is a type of lizard, and they're super cool. And it was like a red one, and it was awesome. And yeah, so I took a moment to reflect that Florida sucks, and Florida may actually be like Satan's taint of the world. But like we do have a lot of cool animals here. Like people around the United States think like bald eagles are like this like mystic creature that in Florida they're like fucking New York pigeons. They're like eating trash and like in ditches around here. And I will say a big positive of Florida is the wildlife. So that made me happy today. So,
you know, I could definitely see you working at like some like not forest. I meant to say Florida, but a Florida like wildlife reserve.
Hell yeah.
You mean like the Australia Zoo?
A zoo. I mean, we all know I worked in a zoo, but hell yeah. No,
I mean like Bong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Bong. Yeah. I've actually been trying to look for jobs like that, but you know, here we are in a pandemic. So
in a panorama.
I'm making donuts.
All right. Well, let's talk about some Disney. Let's talk about Disney.
Disney. Okay, so it is. I'm not gonna. I almost sang again, but I'm not going to. So it's everybody's favorite first section of the podcast, the only first section of the podcast, and it's housekeeping. I try and mix it up every week of who goes first, but I don't fucking remember who went first last week.
It's all right.
But Kurt, you started with your week, so Nicole, let's do some housekeeping for Walt Disney World Company. What's happening?
Okay, I have two things. Let's talk about Gina Carano.
Ooh,
whatever. However you say her last name.
Gina Conservative.
I'm sorry.
Gina Conservative.
Gina ain't got no job. Anyway.
Yes.
Gina files for unemployment.
Yikes, Gina. Should have made some better choices. She was just fired from The Mandalorian for controversial tweets comparing the treatment of Republicans in the U.S. today to Jewish people during the Holocaust.
I actually didn't know she went that far. I knew
she went.
Nice.
Wow. She went. I dug. Man, I dug today. She went that far.
Oh, my God.
And she also has been, you probably know this one then, promoting the ineffectiveness of mask wearing during a global pandemic.
Yes, and she's like super outspoken on anti-vaxxing. Yeah. God, you know what, though? Like,
yikes.
I know we all live in America and we have free speech and everyone bitches about it all the time. But like my biggest thing with this, because everyone's like,
free speech does not equal freedom of consequence, though. Like,
you just took my one line, Nicole.
I'm so sorry. Delete my line. Say your line.
No, it's fine. You can have it. It's your section. But like everyone is like crying about her getting fired. And it's like, what do you expect? Like Disney is a giant company that's trying to like, there are so many people from so many different walks of life that enjoy Disney. And it's like, you cannot keep someone on your staff who is anti-vax, anti-mask. Well, you can't. No, you can't. You can't. You can go ahead out and spew your bullshit in public. But the minute you work for a private company, like that private company has every right to hold you accountable.
A private company who has an enormous public reputation.
Exactly.
Like I don't know about you guys, but any job that I have ever had has always told me as an employee, I'm a representative of that company.
Right.
Same goes for actors who get hired. This production company, Walt Disney Production, is hiring you to play a role in one of their stories. Mm-hmm. You work for them. You represent them. It's all connected. It's not about you personally. It's about what you do for the company. We always say this on our YouTube videos, on our lives, on the podcast. Disney is a company first.
Right.
Their only interest is money.
Right. Exactly.
And if you're going to deter people from spending money or watching their show or going against what they believe in as a company, they're not going to keep you.
Right.
You're nothing. They're even actors and actresses. You're nothing to them. Right. You are nothing to them but money. Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to have a difference in opinion, like your favorite pizza topping.
Right. Right. Or having that opinion.
You can't compare the mass genocide of a specific like religion of people.
Right. And
to your president laws.
Right. If you want to have that conversation at your fucking family's dinner table, fine. But with someone with such a huge following and like you're a fucking role model, like stop spreading this fucking this insanity. That's what it is. Like if you want to be insane, go be insane in a cave by yourself with your insane friends. Like don't. Yeah. Anyway, I don't feel bad for her. And I just get very heated when people are like, you can't say anything nowadays without the snowflakes getting upset. And it's like, why don't you tell that to someone who survived the Holocaust? Like, say it to their face.
Literally.
Anyway, what is their second part, Nicole? Or I guess your second part. Yeah.
So I have two things. And the first one was Gina. Goodbye, Gina. And Blue Sky Studios, you guys know that Disney bought them out, right? I only care about this because Ice Age is my favorite franchise of any movie. It's the best 5 movies I've ever seen.
I didn't know that.
But Disney company bought them out and they are closing them down for good. They're closing them down. And I was like, the fuck? But because I saw that, I was literally looking up shit for Gina Carano, literally looking that up. And I saw that they're closing, Disney bought out and is closing Blue Sky.
I've never heard of them.
Supposed to. Okay, well, that fucking sucks for you.
Like I've heard of Ice Age, obviously. Like I've seen Ice Age.
Blue Sky Studios.
I thought they were from like DreamWorks.
Nope. Blue Sky. Blue Sky.
Interesting.
But what I thought was interesting, which it might kill it for me, is that Ice Age is supposed to get a Disney Plus series. But I also wrote in my notes because it's low-key the best animated series ever made. Source, Nicole.
See, Nicole, you're going to be the Gina of Foreverland because you can have your opinion, but an opinion as such is so wrong. Ice Age is good.
Right. I feel like this is a pizza topping one, though.
Yeah, it's not harmful. It's not harmful.
Toppings.
Yes, that's fair.
It's pizza toppings.
That is fair.
You're not comparing the Ice Age TV series to the Holocaust.
Yeah. No, I promise.
You're fine.
No, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about the Ice Age series because I don't want them to take something that I so much love and appreciate and fuck it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
With a series.
Yeah, I agree.
That's totally
You know
fair.
what I'm skeptical? You know what I'm skeptical of? The fact that Disney's buying all of these companies.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, Blue Sky wasn't huge.
Still,
it wasn't DreamWorks, but
I feel like this is kind of getting on the verge of like Microsoft, like back in like the early 2000s. You know what I mean?
Blue Sky is part of Fox, and Fox bought Disney. Disney bought Fox out.
Yeah. I just feel like do you guys remember that whole like Bill Gates had to go to like the Senate and like Congress and like testify, and then like they ruled that like as a tech company, like you couldn't be buying like Google and all of these other things because you're not opening the market for everything else. And like for other people, because it's capitalism at its finest. And like I kind of feel like Disney's like riding that line of buying all of these major companies and like oh my God, I just choked. Like buying all these major companies and these franchises and like all of these things are happening, and it's all under this Disney umbrella. And I feel like that's kind of getting a little, I don't know.
They're just going to own everything after this.
Anyway, Kurt, Disneyland, what's going on?
Disneyland news. I have two exciting things. One of them, they kind of just intertwine. One of them is that Disney came out and said that starting in mid-March, Disney California Adventure is going to be open for a ticketed festival-like event. There is no really information on what it's like, but I'm going to assume it is like a food and wine type of event. Because like all of like, you know, Disney California Adventure, like Food and Wine, the Lunar New Year Festival, all of the festivals that happen at Disney California Adventure. So they have the map already for it. They have like where they would put the booths. So I'm assuming it's going to be in that vein. I don't know how much tickets are. I will keep you guys updated with all of that information as it comes out. But yeah, that's really exciting. The other thing is kind of intertwined with that. There is a rumor going around that cast members have come out saying that they're being recalled to go back to work on Main Street. So it kind of lines up with this because what was the article I was reading? They were saying that like in order to, I guess, appease the guests who don't want to pay for this ticketed event, they're going to open up Main Street as like what Buena Vista Street is right now. So it's like a free option. So like, if you come to downtown Disney, you still have like to get into a park. You still get to go to a Main Street. It's kind of like the same idea. It's just not a ticketed event. So it's a place for all the people who don't want to have this ticketed or don't want to pay for this ticketed event to go and do all that. So yeah, and it's coming out. They're saying that the cast members are being recalled on to go back to work starting March 14th, which is that mid-March range that the ticketed event is supposed to start in Disney California Adventure. So all of it is rumored. Nothing has been solidified. So we'll see.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine that. Like, just imagine, even if you can't do anything other than just walk down Main Street, like how exciting that's going to be back on Main Street. Yeah, it's going to be great. And you know what? I feel that this is a really huge reason why I have trust issues is that they're saying that it's going to open like on like the 1 year anniversary of when it closed, which was March 14th. And I just remember that day standing on the street, on Main Street, and looking at the train station with all the characters waving goodbye, and everybody was there and saying like, oh, we'll see you in 2 weeks. 1 year later, you reopen. Only Main Street. Oh, yeah. I remember watching you in someone else's YouTube video. Yeah, that was weird. The back of your head. I could see the back of Kurt and Peter's head on this like super popular YouTube video of Disneyland closing. Yeah, that was like sad. One of our first videos, guys. Yeah, that was one of really our first sad. YouTube videos. Disneyland closing. Yeah, so that's what's going on at Disneyland. Nick, what do you got for us for Disney World? Oh, you know it's always crazy down here in Florida. I feel literally everything like there's news coming out of Walt Disney World
every single day.
It's every day. I can't keep up with it. And there was a whole bunch of good things that I could pick from, like the Leave a Legacy monoliths. I think that's what they're called, are going back up. They're absolutely beautiful, by the way. And it's not in the same place that they were before. They're outside of the park, and it's this gorgeous like rainbow wall that they're making. And there's a QR code system so you can find your picture. But that is not the news.
That's what that is?
Yes.
I was looking and I was like, how the fuck is this a Leave a Legacy thing? I don't understand. I was looking at it and I was like, is this like an alien language? But nope, it's a QR code.
Yeah, QR
That's
code.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's awesome. The entrance of Epcot's going to be absolutely beautiful with that wall. But that is not the exciting. I guess I did choose that news to share, but it's not the news I really want to talk about. So the news I want to talk about, which is super controversial, especially being in fucking Florida, this godforsaken state, that the Biden administration is targeting Florida right now to potentially ban domestic travel. So what that would mean is no one coming into Florida and no one leaving Florida. And their reasoning for that is Florida has, I think, the highest case out of any other state of that variant strain, the UK strain. I think there's like a South Africa strain as well. I don't know if it's been found in Florida, but it said a variation of strains of COVID are rising like exponentially in Florida right now. And Ron DeSantis, of course, acted like the man-child he is, and he cried about it in a press conference. So I doubt it'll happen. Florida legislators have pretty much said, like, no, we will fight this tooth and nail and not allow it to happen. My hot take on it is Florida has literally been a shit show since the beginning of the pandemic. And while I agree with Biden's administration that Ron DeSantis has literally let Florida become a COVID playground, I just don't think it's going to happen. For those of you who are not from Florida or don't know anything about the United States right now, Florida has been completely open, I think, for the last 5 months of this pandemic, meaning unless you are in a county that the county mandated a mask mandate, you do not have to follow any CDC guidelines. So the county over from me, you go out into the grocery store and it is literally like you're in the Twilight Zone. There's not one person wearing a mask. Nobody social distances. It's literally a fucking free for all. So, it like Kurt said in the beginning of the podcast of how everyone's exhausted, you know, being a person who follows CDC guidelines, it is fucking exhausting living in this state right now. And when I tell you I go to the parks and I want to rip my hair out because the parking lot is full of out-of-state license plates. Everyone is traveling here right now because we're open. Everyone is bringing their mom, their sister, their fucking great aunt, and they're all coming and visiting here. And it is becoming ridiculous. Like next week, parks are at capacity next week. Like Hollywood Studios is completely at capacity all week next week, and Magic Kingdom some of the days. And you're trying to tell me that that's acceptable right now. Like, people are just fucking coming from all over the place, and I'm sick of it. So, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with the Biden administration to do that because Florida has been reckless. But it's probably not going to happen.
I don't know. It's hard. I feel like unless you're seeing family or you're being super safe and you're seeing family, I think that if you go as like a joyride, it's not the smartest.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that bothers me. Like, I'm here to cast a little bit of judgment, but like my biggest thing is traveling responsibly. And a lot of people aren't. It's just they're rounding up their whole family. They're coming down here. They're bitching about masks. None of them got COVID tests before they came down here. You know, they're the people who are screaming at cast members because, you know, they have to fucking wear their mask the whole time. And it's like, I'm over it. Like, I ban travel, Biden, because you know what? I'll have to deal with the shitty, Not everyone from Florida is shitty. I'm just saying that right now. I'll have to deal with the other annual pass holders and whatnot, but we've been doing this since the beginning of the pandemic. All the pass holders are used to it by now. We know how to follow the rules. We know how to be in the theme parks responsibly. So, yeah.
Yeah, I also just feel like it's just hard because, you see, like you said, you go a county over and you see a whole bunch of people not wearing masks. And it's like, I would hope that these people are traveling responsibly, but I would also hope that people have the common decency to do the bare minimum and wear a mask. And, without seeing that happening, it's just, I feel like it's quick and safe to assume that people are not being as safe as they possibly can. I know that when we came down to Florida, and I know that, any trips that we have planned or that we did take in this past year, I had up to 3 to 4 negative COVID test results before I flew. And I would quarantine myself when I came home. And you guys did the same. We've all done it. So I don't know. It's a difficult thing to navigate. It
is. So, like I said, I don't think anything will come out of it. DeSantis is. I got nothing to say about him, other than it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, if you're flying to Florida, please be responsible. All of those essential workers and the people who are out working right now who have to work because Florida is completely open, you're putting every single one of them at risk. And I do not respect you if you come down here and are not being responsible because none of them have access to the vaccine. Because DeSantis is only allowing people who are 65 years old, 65 or older to get the vaccine, and healthcare workers. And he does not have a plan to open it to anyone else. And there are so many people out working right now in the tourism industry that you are putting at risk if you are not traveling responsibly. So I know that got a little heavy and that wasn't funny at all. But I seriously do not respect people who come and visit Central Florida, specifically the Disney area, and have fucking free-for-alls. So fuck you if you do that. Okay, let's move on.
Nicole, it looks like you're falling asleep.
I'm just listening intently.
Nicole hasn't said one word in the past 42 minutes.
I think it's because we're being so angry right now.
I know. I feel like maybe because you and I have been a little emotional the past couple of days, you and I are ready.
Where I know I could easily rip someyone's hair out right now. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get out of this angry section. Yeah, let's
talk about our YouTube video. So I guess I'll say Happy President's Day. We had a YouTube video come out this past Monday, which was President's Day, and it had all to do about the Hall of Presidents at Magic Kingdom. So Nick, tell us about the video, and let's get started on that.
I literally just had said we're going to get out of this angry rage.
I know. But welcome to Magically Unstable, where we're literally magically unstable, and we're going to talk about all the things that enrage us today.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been wanting to say on a while in this podcast, if we say this all the time, with our YouTube videos, with everything, if you're here to listen to another Disney vlogger, blow smoke up your ass and act like everything is magic and pixie dust, you're not in the right place. That's not what the three of us are about. We're definitely here to hold people accountable, to hold Walt Disney accountable, and to not be everything is so great, I'm so happy, and I love to eat Magic Kingdom cupcakes. No, it's not
Nick's
what we're doing
favorite
here.
Thing is a Magic Kingdom cupcake. If you guys want to see her
Magic Kingdom cupcakes,
if you guys want to see her genuine reaction, go watch our holiday snacks video at Magic Kingdom up on our YouTube channel. It's great. It's great.
Go ahead and watch that. You'll see what I have to say about that. But anyway, I'm going to circle around and just get angry again. So strap in, people.
Cool. Can't wait.
So the Hall of Presidents. Well, first off, I would like to be totally transparent, and I've never fucking seen it live. And the reason why I've never seen it live and in person is because it just seems like, those TikTok videos where it's something that feels racist, that isn't racist categories? That's the Hall of Presidents. And I just don't have 25 minutes of my day to go sit and watch that. So
that's 100%.
Why I've never seen it.
That's 100% accurate. I've seen it once, and it was a trip that Peter and I took before we moved to California. I want to say it was May of 2019. We did like a Magic Kingdom weekend, and like went down to Florida, only went to Magic Kingdom. So we had a lot of time to kill because we were in Magic Kingdom for 2 days. And I was like, oh, let's go see the Hall of Presidents. Like, I've never seen it. It's really hot. It's a spot to cool down.
Right.
The tension in that theater was palpable.
Astronomical.
When it was between, like, so it goes through, like, all the presidents will, like, say some thing. It's not like a speech. It's like a couple lines. And like, so like President Obama will say like a couple words, and then they'll be like, okay, well, now we're going to go to our new president, Trump. And it was just like, my hands are getting clammy talking about it. It was just the most uncomfortable I had ever been in a Disney park, because so many people cheered for when they mentioned President Obama. And then when they got to Trump, it was like silent, but like some people clapped. It was very uncomfortable.
You're making me sweat now.
It was bad. It was real bad. So I would love to see the Biden animatronic, and like, because I love Disney animatronics, and I think they're fascinating, and I just love to look at them and watch them. I don't think I'll go. It's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. And I just I don't have time for that. But I agree. Like, when the Biden animatronic comes out, after doing this research, maybe I'll go see it. I don't know. But I would like to have a little sidebar. Since I haven't seen this show live, I have used a lot of resources for my information. So I'll include those in the show notes so I can give those people credit who have given me this information, which I think is only fair. So I'm going to go ahead. I've kind of already given my opinion on the attraction, but I can't really have an opinion since I've only seen it in videos. And to me, it just seems like a great place to take a nap, like Carousel of Progress, or like if you want to watch someone in a MAGA hat, like get upset because Trump's animatronic still has Hillary Clinton's face on it, just with an orange wig slapped on the top of it.
No, don't take my don't take my point.
I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I just wanted to laugh about it. So anyway, so what I wanted to do was just like tell you guys some neat facts about, because on the ride has history, or the attraction has history. So it's interesting to say the least. So the first thing is it opened October 1st, 1971. And I'm going to quiz you guys. Why is that an important date?
Opening day attraction.
Yes, it opened the same day that Magic Kingdom opened for Walt Disney World. So it has been there for 50 years. Like, that sucker's going to be 50 years old in October, which is crazy. Another thing is it changes with every presidential election, which right now the ride is closed because they're making the Biden animatronic. So that won't be open until December, but it's pretty cool that they update it so often. The attraction as a whole has a bunch of authentic artifacts. Nothing really that great, like Jackie Kennedy's bloodstained dress, but the Bill Clinton would that not be cool to see?
I thought you meant it was there and not that cool. I was like, excuse me, back it up, put it in reverse.
No, they just released it last year, didn't they? The CIA took it like out of the vault with all of those other things that they kept hidden. I'm pretty sure. Well, it's not in Disney either way, but
that wouldn't be very magical of them.
It'd be pretty fucking great. But other cool things like
unstable. You can proceed.
The one time she talks is when she interrupts Nick.
Her face is like super stone cold right now too. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening over there? Like, what is she doing under the blanket?
I'm sweating so bad.
Becomes possessed on the podcast.
I don't like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, other cool things like Bill Clinton's animatronic actually has one of his wristwatches as well.
That's cool.
Yes. he actually gave it to them. There are other artifacts like a beer mug owned by George Washington, which who really gives a shit about his racist ass, slave owning piece of shit ass.
Fucking wooden teeth, dumbass.
Right. But it's there. There's some horn that Teddy Roosevelt had. So that's kind of cool.
That
these
cool.
objects are very old. Yeah. The other thing is, Kurt, you kind of touched on the animatronics. They literally are, other than Na'vi River Journey, the animatronics in the Hall of Presidents are taken extremely seriously. Each one has their own team where from the hair wigs to the attire, it's very intricately planned. So each president is wearing clothes from their time period. It's all very historically accurate. My other favorite part, which made me laugh my ass off, was that there are things that you can't see that are there. So like FDR apparently has leg braces because you guessed it, his ass got polio and turned his fucking his legs into like fucking chopsticks, like polio, like
Was he an anti-vaxxer?
I don't know. Probably, honestly,
because
probably.
That's what happens if you.
Yeah, but his ass got polio and his legs melted. So it's what they do. So his animatronic has the leg braces that he had. Not the exact ones.
This is flashback to Nicole Stew.
We're back to full circle.
Those are the chopsticks you can use with the soup. The stew.
FDR soup.
For Lunar New Year.
It's fucking gross. I don't want FDR polio soup. Like, that is terrible.
God, we've made such a turn.
There's only a couple more facts, but they're cool. Obama has the exact replica of his wedding ring on his hand, which is cool. Bush has, I don't know which Bush it is. I don't really care which Bush it is, but he has his signature purple watch that he used to wear. This is the last one, which I thought was really cool. So each president has two sets of clothes that they had made, and every couple of years they alternate the outfits and dry clean them because I guess they're animatronics, so they have fluids and shit that leak and get them dirty, and they want them to look all fresh. So I don't know, it seems a little what's the word? I don't want to say culty, but Disney takes this ride very seriously, and the animatronics, I don't know, like how I said in the beginning, it all just seems a little racist to me, how they worship this. I don't know. The facts are cool, but it just kind of weirds me out. Are they blowing these animatronics in the back room, or
I think it's just American patriotism freaks me out.
Yes, it's the fucking blind Are we gonna go anti-American again? We should probably stop before we get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's U-turn this.
Yeah. Anyway,
this vehicle back to Disney things.
Right. So those are my interesting facts about the ride, which are kind of cool, I guess.
I love that. Yeah. I love hidden gems, and I think that is really telling of Disney storytelling, because I feel like Disney is all about those little gems and those details of their storytelling. So that's really cool. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, it is cool.
I appreciate your facts.
Yeah. So Nicole, let's go to you there, friend. What do you got about the Hall of Presidents?
Nicole and your newfound demon.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'm really hot.
Okay, but did her background not go completely black? You're literally in the pits of hell right now.
It's literally just your head and neck.
And your shirt is a dark color, so it's literally a floating head. We need to screenshot this.
All of you can't see, but we're doing this over FaceTime. We're having this conversation, and Nicole is just a floating head right now.
We should post this on Instagram.
What are you talking about? You absolutely
it is
can.
Black.
It's blue.
It is black.
It's blue.
Okay, floating demon head.
I have one fact.
Nicole's a demon and decides to hiss. Of all the things the demon can do, Nicole hisses.
Wait, you got to turn the flame off. The teapot's boiling.
Okay.
Where's Randy Newman at? Nicole, come on, mock him like Randy Newman.
It's become natural.
Yeah, that's fair. You can't force it
out of my system.
You can't force it.
Okay. I've got one fun fact to round it out. So we can just this is the dash, the hyphen in between two words. Okay.
Sure.
That's my, so there is in Walt Disney World, there's only two places where you can see the presidential seal. And one of them is at the Hall of Presidents and the other one is in the actual White House. Two legitimate presidential seals.
Yes, I was reading about that. Sorry, Nicole. I just want to add on top of that.
That's all I have, so go for it.
The other I swear to God, bitch, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Putting in that hard work.
I gave 2 facts earlier.
Okay, to be fair, I went a little overboard on the facts.
I was waiting for your ass to steal one of them, and I was going to send a murder pigeon.
No, I almost said this one. I almost said this one. And that's why I have a nuance with it. It's they actually had to have Congress approve it. It literally had to go through Congress to have the seal put in Walt Disney World because it's that sacred. And again, with the weird culty culture, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, that is really
It is cool.
Though.
It is. I mean, to have something that official, in a theme park, whatever. It's cool. Kurt, okay. Go. Nicole said her hyphen.
I have. Thanks for that hyphen, Nicole.
Welcome. However, I can help.
All right. Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes.
Nicole, even your hair is in the background. Your hair is gone, too.
Bitch,
you're literally just a floating head.
Here you go. There it is. It's dragging on the top of my fucking blanket. So it's literally, there it is.
There we go. Perfect.
Guys, Nicole's having a breakdown. How fitting.
I look like the witch bitch.
A little bit. Yeah. Nigel Bach, shout out. Anyway.
Shout out Nigel Bach.
We're going on another tangent.
Anyway. So I guess the one thing that I'll start with, I'll just touch base on, is what you mentioned earlier, how basically the Trump animatronic is a Hillary Clinton animatronic with a wig slapped on it and a spray tan.
And you can tell. It's totally.
If you guys have not Googled this or looked up, go Google Trump animatronic Hillary Clinton. The animatronic is uncanny. It legitimately looks like Hillary Clinton, because everybody thought in 2016 Hillary Clinton was going to win, including Walt Disney World. So I'll just throw that out there. I'll let you guys do your own research because I really want to talk about how the Hall of Presidents originated with Walt Disney at Disneyland. So, as we all know,
here's Kurt being a goddamn Disneyland elitist again. It never fails. It never fucking fails.
It doesn't. It's Walt's Park.
Go ahead.
You know what? I gotta bring the Disneyland into it. Okay, so
shut the fuck up.
So we all know that the Lincoln animatronic was the king of animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
The Lincoln animatronic, it went to the World's Fair, inspired Disney animatronics, and it's this whole other thing now. So Walt actually, when all of that was happening, he wanted to build essentially a Liberty Square, but it was called Liberty Street at Edison. And it was in basically a little alleyway. When you're standing in Disneyland and you're looking down Main Street, on the right-hand side, there's a pathway that connects Town Square to basically Tomorrowland. And a lot of times when there's a parade going on, they'll direct foot traffic down through there. Since Main Street is a lot smaller than Walt Disney World, there's not a lot of walking room. So they'll open that alleyway up and direct people to walk through there so you don't have to walk through the parade. So Peter and I have gotten to go down there a couple times. And it's just white walls. There's nothing exciting. But that alleyway was supposed to be Liberty Street at Edison. And he wanted to do this whole entire Capitol Rotunda show and have all these they weren't going to be animatronics. They were going to be wax figures of all the presidents. And they were all going to be sitting in this theater of the Capitol Rotunda. So after Walt passed away and they started working on Walt Disney World and doing all this stuff, instead of taking New Orleans Square from Disneyland and replicating it in Walt Disney World, they thought that Florida was already kind of close to New Orleans, and like people who wanted to visit New Orleans who lived in Florida could just go to New Orleans. So instead of that, they decided to build upon this layout of Liberty Street and make Liberty Square. And the show, it was called One Nation Under God.
Yes,
I think
it was.
There's that American patriotism coming in. So yeah, that's what the show was originally going to be called when Walt had designed the whole Liberty Street thing. So they took all those ideas and made Liberty Square into a whole area, not just like a little half street. So they expanded that, and then that's how Liberty Square came to be.
Wow. That's exciting.
That's the deep origin of the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah. I also this is going to sound terrible, but like the more I read about, like, guys, please don't hate me for this, but the more I read about Walt Disney, like he also kind of sounds like a dick. Like I was reading today about this whole situation and how like he was really pissed off about a lot of things about like that whole transition. Like he got super pissed that they weren't able to make like 35 extra animatronics for the World Fair. Like the people who made the Lincoln one did it so well that he was like, oh, I want 35 of these for the World Fair. And he was fucking livid that they didn't do it. And what's even better, I totally forgot about this. So they did a test run of the Lincoln animatronic like a couple days before the World Fair. And they had Lincoln in his suit, and underneath his suit, he was wearing a red shirt. Well, hydraulic fluid in 1964 was bright red, and a hydraulic pipe or a hydraulic tube had burst under the shirt, and the whole shirt started filling up with bright red liquid. And literally everyone was like, oh my fucking God, like this motherfucker got assassinated. And we have this animatronic just like,
my God.
And Walt like flipped his fucking lid. And I get to a point, there's a lot of stress, like being, you know, literally Walt Disney. But sometimes I listen and I'm like, were you an asshole? Like, I don't know you, but like, were you a dick or were you just like a really efficient company owner? But that's just another side note.
It usually goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like you don't want to think anything poor of him, but he also was like he was also racist. So it's like,
yeah. I also, you know, I share those same sentiments, but I also like am truly starting to like disbelieve in cancel culture. And like, I always try to tell myself that like he lived like in the 50s and 60s when segregation was like the thing. And like, I feel like if we lived in the 50s and 60s, we would also all probably be racist.
I tend to feel like we're living through that right now, though. And those of us who are on the right side of history are showing that we would have been on the right side of history.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I also totally get with like cancel culture, how toxic that is. Like cancel culture is toxic. But yeah, that was just my other side thing of being like, is there anyone alive who still knows Walt? Like, can we get a reading on this? I feel like the legacy of Walt Disney is glorified because of how we view Disney as a company. Right.
And I feel like those things they go hand in hand, but they really shouldn't.
And he is still a white man, so we can't expect that much out of him. Sorry, Kurt, but you're a gay white man, so it's okay.
It's fine.
Anyway,
I think that it is a perfect segue into our next section, therapy session, because it's my week and I have something great I want to talk about that kind of has to do with this. So let's take a little break and then come back. I need to cool down so that I don't get too heated. And then we can come back. All right, let's take a break, and we will talk to you guys after the break.
All right, everyone, now that we're stopped, let's take a minute to shout out to our socials.
Since you've made it this far, maybe subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe wherever you're listening, like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or whatever you're listening on right now.
You can also follow us over on Instagram and TikTok at Foreverland Fairy Tales.
And most importantly, if you want more Disney content, or if you want to listen to our podcast on YouTube, make sure you find us there. We're at Foreverland Fairy Tales, and just remember to subscribe.
All right, let's get back to the episode. All right, guys, welcome back from the break. Let's dive into this therapy session because I got a lot to say. Can I rant now?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I have my therapy session?
Kurt, yes, your time starts.
Great.
Go.
I would like to talk about the cultural missteps that Disney has taken over the years as a company. Just like in general.
Do we have enough? I was going to say,
thinking about it.
We don't have enough time.
Last week when we talked about the Lunar New Year celebration at Epcot, and how, you know what, it's Black History Month. I want to talk about the lack of representation of Black characters because I was reminded, I guess, when you were talking about the very cool things that Walt Disney is doing, or that Walt Disney World is doing to celebrate Black History Month by having music from Soul and Princess and the Frog.
I mean, let's go ahead and think about what that third option could be. The only other, like, quote unquote, Black
Song of the South.
Exactly. Yeah. And
like,
we're not even going to go into that. Yeah.
And what just like fuels my point is like, how old are those movies? One came out a month ago. Princess and the Frog came out, what, 2010? 2009?
Within the last 10 years. So very, very new.
Yeah. So when did Snow White come out? 19, I don't know. Like, I'm not a Snow White connoisseur, so I have no idea. But from there until 2010-ish, why did it take so long to have any type of representation in the Walt Disney Company? I don't understand. It boggles my mind that this worldwide company that has theme parks in foreign countries like Asia, like Japan, and like Europe. I mean, Europe is mostly white, but
right.
I don't mean Europe is mostly white. I mean, generally speaking, like there are more light-skinned people in Europe than there are Asia or Tokyo.
Right. Well, white people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I just feel that if you're gonna put your stake of a theme park in a country, you should at least represent them as a company and not just say, oh, it's fine because we made Mulan.
Right.
I'm sorry. You're one Asian character princess out of the how many other princesses?
Has so much conviction. Your finger point was so direct.
It's just so frustrating. And I think this is just coming off the coattails of like my anxiety and my stress about like Peter even being at the grocery store by himself right now with the rise of Asian American hate crimes that are happening. Like, I don't like when he goes outside to walk the dog by himself because I'm afraid that there's going to be some crazy fucking white person who attacks him. Yeah. And I think that it's just all like is like coming to a head right now in this moment. So thanks for coming along with that for me. But it's just like, it's like all of these things are happening because it's trendy. Like, because it's being brought to the forefront by activists and by protests and by all of these things that are happening. But like, what took you so long? Mm-hmm. Like, cool, you're doing it now, but it took you innocent people being murdered for you to make this like a thing that you're going to do on the regular. I don't understand that that thought process. And like, I absolutely love that they're coming out with Raya and the Last Dragon, and they're having Southeast Asian and, you know, representation. But I just feel like it's a little too late, guys. It's a lot too late.
No, I completely agree with you, because let's just like unpack that for a second. You know, you talked about globally placing your parks in these culturally diverse countries. Let's just talk about the state of California and the state of Florida. Your theme park is located, at least now that I live here, I understand culturally Central Florida a little bit better. Central Florida is such a diverse place, and people don't realize this, and how harmful it is to young Black children, young Mexican children, young Asian children to visit these parks, and their characters that represent them only come out during special times. You know,
right.
Like, granted, now you can find Tiana in the parks a lot more often. She's in the cavalcades, and Elena, is that her name?
Elena of Avalor.
Yeah, which, you know, already pisses me off. Does she even have a movie?
No. Yeah. It's a TV series.
She has like a TV show.
I thought she had a movie. I thought it was interesting.
I thought she had a movie too, Nicole, and I looked it up, and it's a Disney Channel series.
Yeah.
It's not even a fucking movie.
It's so frustrating. It's like, you know, it's like they're only pushing these things because they can currently sell them.
Correct. Right. And it's like now, in the light of what has happened in the past year, now, Disney can wipe its hands clean, because guess what? We're all about diversity and inclusion now. Look at us. We're so special. Like, no. Like we talked about in the last episode, how pissed off we were that in Epcot, you have the World Showcase, and I'm not going into festivals, even though I want to rip my hair out thinking about festivals. You have all of these cultural events happening where you're literally doing the white version of that culture. Like, So it's very upsetting. Yeah.
And like, I just want to take a look. Like, can we just look at Disney CEO since day one and tell me what they all have in common?
I bet they're
all white men.
Are they white? Yeah.
They're all white men.
Yep. Nicole, are you dead?
No, I'm here. Just listening.
Are you?
It just really grinds my gears. It really grinds my gears. And I just feel that, again, I'm trying to rid myself of cancel culture mentality. And obviously we have a Disney YouTube channel. I go to Disneyland all the time. You go to Walt Disney World. We have this podcast. Obviously, this is not going to stop us from going to Disney. And I guess that makes us part of the problem. But I also feel that I'm glad that things are changing. I'm glad that Mulan had a remake. I'm glad with a full-on Chinese cast, and like was very true to the Chinese tradition and fairy tale of Mulan. And I'm glad that Raya and the Last Dragon is coming out. I'm glad that Kelly Marie Tran is the voice actress for Raya, because one, she deserves it. Two, she was related so much to this character, and it meant so much to her. And I'm so happy I'm so glad that she's able to have this representation and be representation for little girls who look like her. And I'm so happy all of these things are happening. It's just when you think about how long it took and why it's happening now, it's just really frustrating. It's really frustrating to me. And you know what else is really frustrating? The fact that we still don't have, besides a Pixar short film, a gay Disney film.
I was just going to start screaming about that.
Because it's not just about race. My therapy session is not just about race, and I know that's what I really have focused on. But it's just about like inclusion in general. Like, we don't have any gay characters. We have, you know what we have? We have gay baiting characters. We have characters that are that are focused on gay culture and inspired from gay icons and gay culture, like Ursula, like Jafar, and like Scar. But you know what happens? They're all villainized. So
exactly.
it's just this whole like mentality of taking things from the gay community and making them into these like sassy villains and all these things, and playing into that subconscious of making gay people the bad people. And because that's what sells. And no, Scar's not gay. Jafar's probably not gay. Ursula's not
He's
gay.
Definitely gay.
Jafar is a little questionable. But
I was literally going to ask, but I didn't want to sound like a dumbass and ask if Ursula was a lesbian, because I was genuinely interested
maybe
now.
She might be.
For it. But
I'm not going to go for it.
just,
what the fuck? No. It's just like good for her.
But I mean, you're taking all of these gay culture and you know, drag queen iconic looks and characteristics and you know, things that we in the gay community have made an identity out of, and you're villainizing that.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't make a gay hero. You won't make a gay prince. You won't make a gay best friend, sidekick. There's still no representation. And I feel like it's just, what is that going to take? Is it going to take another round of 80s raids and
right,
you know, police baiting gay men to arrest them or beat them, and the killing of innocent gay people? I mean, trans people are still being killed and murdered in the streets
every day.
Are we? You know, what is it going to take?
Mm-hmm.
It has to become a popular thing that happens for these companies to be like, oh, representation.
That's important.
Representation does. It does matter. Wow. Mm-hmm. I never thought of that, because it wouldn't sell, because it's not going to sell to middle white class America that I'm going to have these two princes.
Yeah. To add on that too, just really quickly, because I don't want to stretch this out too long, but I think another thing that's so fucking harmful that Disney does is not having fat people, like fat representation. Yeah. Like, same thing how you said how the gay perceived characters are always villainous. The fat characters are always the person that everyone makes fun of. They're the butt of the joke. Or the villain. Yeah, or they're the villain, or they're the fool of the movie. And it's like, it's so fucking harmful in these Disney movies where 99% of the characters animated in the film are of below average weight. And it's the same thing. It's like, what is it going to take? Like, it sucks because we watch culture changing where, you know, artists like Lizzo or Rebel Wilson, they become super famous and popular for themselves, and then they end up getting bullied into losing weight. And there's not a healthy place for fat people. And I'm going to say fat people because fat is not a bad term. Fat is what it is. People have fat. It's not a bad term to use, and that needs to be normalized. It's what is it going to take to get proper representation? Like, what the fuck? Like, right. I know. Yeah, I know. And
that's a whole nother level, because like, yeah, Princess and the Frog came out, but Tiana's the size of my fucking pinky finger.
Exactly. Like, exactly. Yep. It's all very frustrating, and you're completely right. They're catering to middle class white America, because we all know the fucking soccer moms that will lose their goddamn gourds if there was ever a fat princess. They would, you're promoting unhealthy culture. You're promoting, fuck you. You're promoting being annoying and staying in a status quo that isn't healthy for the culture of America.
And probably
so fuck
keto.
Off. Literally.
Or they're just going to give their kids McDonald's every night.
Right. Go fucking starve your liver with your keto. And then
shame their daughter that they don't look like Cinderella.
Right. Go sell your fucking Scentsy somewhere else, bitch. Like, we don't need to hear about it anymore. It's so annoying.
Go take your multi-level marketing thing somewhere else, Karen.
Right.
Oh man. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Thank you for letting me rant. I needed that. I think that was a culmination of this entire podcast.
Mm-hmm. I also think it's really important to just say this. I'm just going to say it. I think that we are so bothered by this because the three of us have all accepted our white privilege. We know that we are all privileged because of our skin. We all know that we are inherently racist because we have white skin, and we try every day to challenge ourselves and to be uncomfortable and to know that even though we try to learn and elevate people of color's voices, we know that we still are privileged to have this podcast, to have a YouTube channel, to go into the parks, and it's never going to be enough. And we need to keep evolving, and Walt Disney World Company needs to keep evolving and hopefully learn from their mistakes. So
everybody needs to be held accountable. And you know what? Even we need to be held accountable. You know, if I would love to, if anybody has made it this far in the podcast, thank you. But also, I would love to hear from anybody who has thoughts on this. And just I would love to have a conversation with people about this, because I am very passionate about inclusion. And, you know, as a gay man, I have struggled my entire life with inclusion. And I know that it's a completely different struggle than, a person of color may have. So I would love to have a little conversations. And if you guys want to reach out to us and leave a comment, talk to us, be part of our conversation, you can email us at magicallyunstable.com.
Nope, Gmail.
Just kidding. You can email us at magicallyunstable@gmail.com.
Great. Okay, great. Kurt, great therapy session. Super important topic.
Thanks, guys.
Needs to be talked about a lot more.
Yeah, I would love, like I said, I would love for people to reach out, because you know what? We are still 3 white people talking about this. Right.
Yes, I completely agree. It would be great to share any Black opinion, Asian opinion, any BIPOC opinion. Or I guess if you're sitting here and you're angry and you're a white person and you want to email us, go ahead, because we'll just read it and probably just tell you to fuck off. So, yep. I like that. Read it and eat it.
Read it and eat it.
We're now to the... hopefully, Nicole, this isn't angry, because I feel like this whole podcast has been angry.
Sorry, guys. So it won't happen. I feel like there's just a lot going on this week.
No, it will always be angry.
Probably.
See,
last week wasn't angry.
No, it was. It was a little angry.
A little bit, but I feel like this has been like one entire therapy session.
Yes, it has been. It has been. Yeah.
But it's been a rough week politically, and there's been a lot going on. Like I said, this whole like abuse with Asian Americans is really getting to me.
I just read a statistic that since the pandemic has started, 2,800 assaults against Asian Americans have been reported. That's just reported. So imagine how many have gone unreported for just being Asian walking down the street because some fucking asshole decided to call COVID-19 the China flu. Like, fuck you. You're an asshole.
Yep.
Anyway, we're angry again. We need to get happy, Nicole.
Nicole, please bring us out of this.
Bring us, how do we cope? Give us a good coping strategy that you have for the park.
So I chose the park, Main Street at night. Navigating Main Street at night. Because like
after the fireworks, or like
about after fireworks,
just in general?
I'm just talking about in general.
Kurt.
Oh, so like when it's open and no one's there? What do you mean?
Get the fuck out of my podcast, please and thanks. This is my coping session. I sat happy, demon, quiet and let you rant. Now let me cope.
Oh, Lord.
Happy, demon, quiet.
Happy, demon, quiet. No, just like, and stop laughing. I've been sitting bottled up.
I'm just imagining you as soup again.
I imagined her as SpongeBob. So, going like at night.
That's what I was going for. I also added that sparkle in my note. But no, just like a regular, like you're walking around and it got dark in the park. I don't know. Dark in the park. I
Dark in the Park?
still don't know my way around Magic Kingdom at all. I know where the castle is, and I know that Space Mountain is to my right. That's it. Don't know anything else.
That's right.
So, always...
It's a true statement.
You're not
always
wrong.
Go to the park with a buddy. I don't know. I would not be able to navigate otherwise.
I just had a flashback of when we played hide and seek in Magic Kingdom, and Nicole got lost trying to hide.
Exactly.
Oh my God. She hid behind like a leaf sticking out on a bush.
No.
Wide open.
I was in the bushes behind a leaf.
Oh,
There we go.
And
That's
I
where
was
you
watching for you motherfuckers. And I watched really good, and then I got caught. So
we have a whole.
Yeah.
We recorded that. We had a whole video of us playing hide and seek in Magic Kingdom on our YouTube channel. If you guys want to go check that out.
if you want to see some real like
It's pretty
survivor
great.
footage, you're welcome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
how I need companionship in the park at night, because I get all sorts of anxious, and then I just start running around like fucking hey, and I don't know what to do. So
Mhm.
I just need somebody to keep
Is
me
it just
grounded.
in? Is it just in general, or is it like when you're leaving the park?
I mean, it's in general. I know the exit. Exiting the park
That's
is
good.
more like grab onto somebody for my dear life and just hope I don't get
Mhm,
separated
mhm.
from them, because like I know I've bad issues with like abandonment and I don't
Mhm.
want to be abandoned, even if it's not intentionally.
That's
you
fair.
know. I just don't want it to happen.
So can I ask you a question? Because you and I have never been to like a proper Disney day together, because we went during
Mhm.
coronavirus.
Mhm.
So like when the fireworks are done, right? Happily Ever After is over. Are you team like leave, or do you like go for some more rides?
I'm team leave. I'm team get the fuck out of the park. I'm team start walking. I want to be in the middle of the crowd for the fireworks, but then I'm team get the fuck out of there. I'm team the ferry boat's going to be full because fuck the monorail. You just start walking. You start power walking and you get the fuck out.
Interesting. See, I'm more of a if everyone I've gone with has been to the park before, I am all for going to the park starting at like 5 p.m., watching the fireworks, and then riding the rides after everyone leaves after the fireworks, because the park empties out like no one's business.
So that's like my coping thing is, I guess, because like I would also like anxiety shoot through the roof. I talked about, I think last I don't remember, but I talked about like I don't like having crowds. Like I don't like being able to like see the sea of people in front of me or behind me and have that feeling of getting like pushed out of somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm team go ride rides until like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then be like one of 20 people on the ferry boat.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, I totally agree with you, though, having a buddy. You know, I am in Disney parks all the time, and I'm by myself, and I get very anxious. I mean, first of all, I don't know if anyone has made it this far, but being a vlogger is very hard when you have anxiety. I always say I'm the worst vlogger in the world because I hate vlogging. I feel like everyone's watching me. I don't have anyone to talk to when something has gone wrong, when I'm recording. And when I'm in the parks by myself all the time, even if I wasn't recording, sometimes I just go and I'll do like a TikTok live and I'll drink coffee, and just like sitting there knowing that I am completely by myself and everything that I do for the rest of the day, I will be by myself, can sometimes induce pretty bad anxiety, being like, I have to fight this crowd alone. I have to go navigate in the Emporium on Main Street alone. And you have no one to just be like, can I grab the back of your sweater? Can I just look at you in the eyes and you know that I'm having like a moment where I just need to like fucking like sit down.
Yeah, I'm a backpack.
Yeah, it is
grabber.
hard.
I'll grab backpacks.
Yeah.
I feel like, here comes my Disneyland side again.
Christ.
I feel like, but I feel like Disneyland is like a really good park for people who have anxiety. It's not this massive space. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's how I felt. I mean, I also feel like that's how Nick felt. Like, not saying that that's how you felt, but I feel like when we were at Disneyland together, like, it was very relaxing and like it wasn't stressful.
Sure.
And it wasn't like anxiety inducing.
For me, it's sorry, Nicole is literally having to vent her air. I'm pretty sure she's going to pass out from heat. No, my biggest thing is places to sit. Disney World has nowhere to fucking sit. And when I'm having a moment of anxiety, I just need to go sit at an empty table away from everyone else and just be away from everyone else. And there is nowhere. I found one place that if I'm lucky, I can snag a table, and I don't want to say it because I don't want anyone else to know where it is. I brought you two there and showed you my secret place, but I just want to go snag a table and just be by myself. And Walt Disney World, especially in fucking Epcot, when you're trying to fucking eat at the festivals, there's nowhere to sit. And Disneyland, even on that busy ass day that we went, Kurt, like literally any corner of Disneyland, there is tables everywhere and you can just go sit and be away from everyone else. And not having someone there with you is really fucking hard when you don't have somewhere where you can just go sit and decompress. So Disneyland definitely was a lot less anxiety inducing than Disney World. I completely agree with that. But yeah, that's a good one. I think in general, just if you are a person where your anxiety feeds off of like having another energy with you, being in such a high stress situation, having a buddy, if you're able, is great. That's a great one. Other than the people on TikTok asking me to hang out all the time. I promise, guys, it's not you, it's me. I have severe social anxiety with people asking me to hang out. So I'm sorry, fair. I'm probably never going to hang out with you, and I'll just continue to be alone.
So
right.
I'm not about making new friends right now.
Fair. That's about it, though, right?
Yeah,
we're at the end.
That was a rough but good episode for us to get through.
Yeah. Heavy shit, man. Heavy shit.
But you know what? That's why we started this podcast, so we can just air out our shit. And hopefully, you know what? If you feel the same way, you know that someone else is feeling what you're feeling. Right. And you know what? If you don't feel that way, go ahead and send us hate mail, because I just feel like that would be hilarious. So. I would also just like to say that any hate mail we get, I'm absolutely going to read on this podcast and just air that out for everyone. So.
I'm going to start sending anonymous hate mail to us.
No. Can we do dramatic readings like that guy on TikTok of like boomers fighting? Oh, yes. Thank God. Okay, great. Yes, please send us hate mail.
Or if you send Nick weird messages on TikTok Live, I'm gonna screenshot them and read them.
Every time I'm on TikTok Live, someone's acting weird.
TikTok Live is probably going to be a therapy session for one of us one of these days.
Yeah. I'm going to go live in Wisconsin.
End of episode 3.
Just wait. I'm going to take you to Six Flags Great America.
People will still ask you if you're in Walt Disney World or Disneyland. And
then they're going to ask me if Disneyland open, and I'm going to say, yeah, I'm here right now. Batman's over there.
Right.
Yeah. Nicole, then we're going to get canceled. You can't do that.
Batman's over there.
You can't do that.
Man.
Fucking Looney Tune land.
Wow, that's an interesting looking Mickey Mouse.
Hey, but it would fit
budget version.
It would fit in with the review that we got on our Etsy shop for the mouse ears looking like rabbit ears.
Perfect. It comes full circle. It always comes full circle.
Oh, man. All right.
I'm tired.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you.
You know who I'm talking about.
Thank you so much for listening to this very honest episode of Magically Unstable.
Yeah. A bit political. A lot political.
A lot political. A lot cultist. A lot of things happened in this past hour. So anyways, if you want to hear more after this episode, make sure you subscribe to us on whatever you're listening on: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any
YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Foreverland Fairy Tales. We post our episodes there every Friday at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Great. I'm like mentally drained. So,
Same.
yeah.
All right, guys,
let's go.
All right, guys, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and we will see you next week. No, we won't. This is a podcast. And we will talk to you next week.
Stay magical, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.